A Fox News alert, Ukraine saying an American electronics plant in the western part of the country is one of the several targets in a massive Russian drone attack overnight. One person is dead and 15 people are hurt, according to President Zelenskyy, who also wrote in a statement, there have been no signal from Moscow that they are really going to engage in meaningful negotiations and end this war. Pressure is needed, strong sanctions, strong tariffs. Former CIA station chief and Fox News contributor Dan Hoffman is here to break down how this will impact peace talks between Russia and Ukraine. Dan, good morning to you. So Ukraine's foreign minister is saying this was a U.S. electronics plant that was hit in this Russian drone strike that hit Ukraine overnight. So how do you think that will impact things, and how big of a deal is this reporting?
Yeah, well, first of all, we need to collect the facts. There's always a bit of the fog of war here, and so there's initial reports about this attack, which, is part of a larger attack, massive drone attack by the Russians. And really, over the past few weeks, the Russians have been launching ballistic missile and drone attacks on Ukraine unabated. But again, we need to get all the facts here, and then we can assess what damage was done. And I'm sure that Director Ratcliffe and the rest of the intelligence community will be looking for reflections to determine whether Russia deliberately targeted this facility, if indeed they did.
Okay, so on top of that, we have new comments from Russia's foreign minister yesterday, Sergei Lavrov, who's saying now that Russia will only accept security guarantees if Russia is part of the group providing security to Ukraine. So essentially they're saying Russia is going to protect Russia from invading. They can't be serious.
Well, they are serious. They want veto power over the security guarantees, which makes them essentially useless. And this is Russia's negotiating strategy. It's a not so subtle way of telling us that while President Trump rightly wants to end the war, and he's doing everything he can to do that, Vladimir Putin still thinks, in spite of 1 million casualties, that he can win the war. And he's continuing to proceed along that path to overthrow the democratically elected government of Ukraine, install a puppet regime. But beyond that, I've always felt, and we've been talking about this on the network, that Putin wants to assert dominance in Russia's self-designated sphere of influence. I don't think anything could have bothered him any more than the fact that the Trump administration solved a long-term conflict between Azerbaijan and Armenia. And I think Putin was irritated by that. He also wants to demonstrate that the United States doesn't have the throw weight to influence events in his part of the world. So we'll have to see now whether we dial up the pressure on Russia to try to bring them to the negotiating table.
Yeah, because that's always an option. But Dan, what does this really mean, these new comments from Lavrov? Does that mean that we're back at square one when it comes to this negotiation, and all the gains that the Trump administration thought that they made didn't actually come to fruition? Is Russia really changing their tone here?
Well, first of all, we've got a significant tangible result in that the Trump administration has really energized our European partners to take responsibility for security in their own continent, and that's important going forward. We've, I think, proved the concept that in spite of everything we've tried to do to bring peace in this war, that Russia is not interested in doing that. So there's a lot more that we can do. Germany can send Ukraine the long-range Taurus missiles. We've got $300 billion worth of Russian frozen central bank assets to look at. Denmark could close the Danish Straits to the Russian shadow fleet. We can look at secondary sanctions as well.
Yeah, and the White House is saying they're going to be brushing off any bluster unless it comes from Vladimir Putin himself. There's always the possibility of a trilateral meeting. The Trump administration is trying to go for that bilateral meeting, although Sergei Lavrov says that might not happen. Really quickly on that front, do you think that it will? Do you ever see Putin and Zelenskyy meeting face to face?
There just isn't any evidence at this point that such a meeting would take place. Vladimir Putin will obfuscate and speak in flattering terms publicly and privately with President Trump, but there's no indication that Russia's going to do anything other than continue to rain down hell on Ukrainian civilians, unfortunately.
Former CIA station chief and Fox News contributor Dan Hoffman. Dan, thank you for joining us.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.